Following the One-san, Himeko-san, we came to the first floor cafeteria. We went up to a convenient table and sat next to each other. Maybe it was because it was right at lunch. The cafeteria was surprisingly crowded, not only with the people from outside, but also people who seemed involved with the hospital. As for myself, because my home was close, I'd never used it before, but more people seemed to use it than I had thought. Okay, pick whatever you like. And then, Himeko-san passed over a menu with a practiced air. You can take your time choosing. Chocolate, mint, or even sherbet, whatever you like. She happily continued with her words. However, no matter how much I looked at the menu, it didn't seem like I had much to debate over. Then I'll have... just a moment. Yes. Allow me to guess exactly what it is. For some reason, when she interrupted me, she confidently started making her prediction. Certainly this was a menu with many different set meals and drinks. But from the start, the key item, ice cream, only came in vanilla. There wasn't really anything to predict here. Let's see. Judging by the air around you, vanilla, right? How was it? Was I right? This is some kind of joke? That's not it. You're supposed to finish the gag routine with "there's nothing but that on the menu." I didn't really get it, but the One-san got fired up all by herself. Oh well, anyways, I'll go buy some. As she spoke, she got up from her seat and quickly went to buy. What that was just now, I wonder. Here, sorry for the wait. In a bit, Himeko-san returned. However, on the tray there were 4 ice creams. For now, everyone's assigned 2, okay? Why? As the thought came to me, and faster than I could ask it, she placed 2 dishes in front of me as if that's how it was supposed to be. She started eating before I did. Delicious. Yeah, when it comes to summer, this is the only thing. With a nod, I also started eating. It was a sherbet-like ice cream that fit the season with its light taste. Setsumi, is it good? Then try saying it a bit more happily, rather. It's good. Not like that. Not like that. More like, how do you say, all this time I wonder, just what in the world does she want me to do? Okay. Delicious. Try saying that. Delicious. Okay, next question. Question? First, say chandelier 10 times quick, please. And you have to say it really fast, okay? Snow White. Correct. Maybe she wanted me to answer Cinderella. Okay, now that we're even more revved up. With that, it's self-introduction time. And Himeko-san's still charging herself up on her own. In these sort of situations, I guess you should go along at least a little bit. Well, that's what I wound up thinking, but it felt impossible for me. So, what are Setsumi's interests? Nothing special. Maybe you're good at cooking or something? Not particularly. Maybe you're unexpectedly a karaoke lover? And on top of that, love anime songs and can sing the Summer Machine Gun and stuff? says underneath the dialogue here, Natsuwa Machine Gun song, famed for the amazing speed, the stream of consciousness lyrics are shouted by Mitsuhiro Shindo. It's rumored that people have sung the karaoke in real life. Never heard of it. Not even a bit. Well then, now it's my turn to introduce myself. Just when I wondered if I said all that much, Himeko-san suddenly stood up. Other people wondering what was going on looked over, but it seems she didn't mind that at all. Even though I look like this, I really love cars. I carry a National Rank A motorsport license. Impressive. She even straightened up proudly and was excessively wound up. But to me, even if I was told National Rank A, I had no idea what that meant. Is that amazing? Well, not that much. In a flash, her energy disappeared. And as for me, instead of that, I was more interested in something else. Say, what? Questions are okay. I'm good with things like rotary engines. No, not that. Is it okay to eat that? That. Before my eyes, Himeko-san continued to gobble up her ice cream. It might have been obvious, but ice cream was not supposed to go well with the sick. Of course, I didn't know much about Himeko's illness, but at the least I knew she was someone from the 7th floor. Just looking at it normally, a sick person shouldn't be eating that much ice cream. That's my question. Hey, do you know the 7th floor's visitors hours? I was answered with another question. What it had to do with being able to eat ice cream, I couldn't see, but I honestly shook my head. I'm sure that on the 3rd floor, where I was always admitted, it was from 3 in the afternoon until 8 at night. However, only on Saturdays, mornings were allowed, and I figured the other floors probably had similar arrangements. Amazingly, only the 7th floor is okay 24 hours. Well, I'm telling you, there aren't any real dietary restrictions. Really? Yep. Well, you can't go crazy and overeat, but basically you can have anything, anytime. While answering, she started to quickly eat ice cream again. Coming from a ward full of restrictions, the 7th floor is suddenly becoming free. Himeko-san laughed happily as she replied. However, the next words she spoke were in a totally different tone. Setsumi, you know what that means, right? I gave a small nod. What is a hospice? To that, there are people who say it's a place to await new treatments, as well as the people who say that it's a place to ease the heart. I'm sure that both of those are probably right. For myself, it seemed like Himeko-san's words just now were more understandable. Well, that's how it is. So come anytime, okay? I've got time. With that, her usual cheery face returned. Normally she was like this, but I felt that once in a while, the facial expressions and words she used were very severe. Which one was the real Himeko-san? I didn't know. Most likely both of them were. Around when the sun, which had been so high, was setting. After I left the hospital, I returned home. The door slid shut behind me. I'm home. At the empty front door, my voice reverberated. From that closed-off room, the moment I opened the door, a blast of hot air had come out. I opened the living room window and let in the outside air. Even just that much cooled the room. Looking at the clock, it was 4 o'clock, so early for Mother to come home. I placed my slightly sweaty sailor uniform in the washing machine and changed to pajamas. Then, after I finished washing the rice, to help out Mother who would be returning soon, I finished the preparations for making dinner. Since I was feeling well at this point, I set myself to doing at least this much. Really, I could just relax in my room, but instead I switched on the fan in the living room. Father and Mother are working in the middle of this heat. For me alone to be in a cool, air-conditioned room, it gave me a bad feeling and I couldn't do it. The door opened and slammed shut. She's home. I'm home. Welcome home. Mother returned from a part-time job. Almost always around this time, she would come home. Setsumi, did you eat dinner yet? Not yet. Then let's eat together. Today I got lots of croquettes again. Sitting at the table across from each other, the two of us started an early dinner. Because Father's commute had lengthened, he often came home late, and so the times the two of us ate like this, separate from him, increased. So, is it good? If you want, eat the fries too. You like them, don't you? With that, Mother offered the plate of fries. Before, I had continued to eat them silently. Since then, it seemed Mother thought I liked them. You know, your mother since yesterday had been frying the fries. Huh? So these aren't really just leftovers. You don't have to worry. You see, when I said that you liked them, people at the store said I could take home as much as I wanted. Cheerfully, happily, Mother spoke on. Exactly what were the conditions that led the people at the store to say that, I didn't know. But just from imagining it, I was filled with guilt. For some reason, I was pained. So from now on, look forward to it. In front of such a mother, all I could do was just stay quiet and continue eating the fries, trying as best I could to eat as if they were delicious. A few days after, with the usual cicadas and the sun consecutively setting record heat, under such a sky, I came here once again. A high ceiling, a white room, a small folding chair on which I sat. However, even though I came here, it was just... I came here. Simply that. It's not like we talked about anything special, and at the least, I never brought up any interesting conversation topics. It was just on the level of sitting next to the unilaterally chatting Himeko-san, making uninteresting responses. Say, one question. Decisively, I tried asking a direct question. Is being with me fun? Yes, when I'm with you, I know no boredom. Sarcasm? No such thing, it's really fun. A Setsumi-chan lovey-dovey kind of feeling. Maybe she's toying with me. Couldn't help thinking that, but Himeko-san was always like this. One-sidedly getting all worked up, whatever I said, and cheerfully following her own pace to the end. Then, just when we had that exchange, a knock came from the door. Good afternoon. The person who came in was an older lady I didn't recognize. It was the first time I saw anyone come into this room. Himeko-san, how are you feeling? Well, nothing special, I guess. Today is a bathing day, what shall I do? I'm fine, thanks for your concern. And if there's anything, feel free to say. Once again, the door shut with a click. With those final words, the lady I didn't know left the room again. At first, I thought it was a family member, but it seemed to be otherwise. Maybe it was a helper? Since she was wearing an apron, she seemed like one. It was just that. I felt she was somehow different from the other people I knew called helpers. That person just now was... a helper that was assigned to someone else. It seemed that I was right, that she was a helper. But because there really did seem to be a difference, Himeko-san explained about helpers here. It seemed that the helpers of the general wards were generally supposed to help people in the physical sense. Depending on the hospital, it could be a job, and there also seemed to be some who looked upon it as a form of part-time work. Compared to that, the 7th floor helpers, because mental care was relatively important, if you came thinking it was a part-time job, you apparently wouldn't be accepted. Well, at least for this hospital, all the 7th floor helpers should be volunteers. I see. How admirable. I was a bit impressed. It might have been obvious, but I had heard that those who have not been informed beforehand cannot enter the 7th floor. Those people, by their own choosing, volunteer for free for the sake of those patients. I plainly felt admiration. But at my reaction, Himeko-san... Indeed, admirable. She replied without conviction. Looking at it normally, you'd think you'd sense a bit of something like appreciation. Then, Himeko-san's words from before, that was assigned to someone else. That someone else nagged at me. From just those words, that one would think the Himeko-san's assigned helper also existed somewhere. But so far, I'd never seen anyone like that. Himeko-san's assigned helper is... There isn't one. Isn't one? Why? Because I don't need one. Plainly, that was the only answer she gave. I didn't really understand, but maybe the 7th floor helpers could be refused if the patient said so. Certainly, Himeko-san, when compared to the other people of the 7th floor, could walk normally, and because she was young, was lively, but... Come to think, since I've come here, I had not once seen any family members come to visit. But that's because now you come. Huh? It's as if she saw what I was thinking and replied. Thanks, that leaves 3... Leaves 3. Yeah, I wanted a friend from a different age group. You know, isn't it common? The 10 things you want to do before dying? And she lightly used the word dying. That might also be because of the 7th... She's of the 7th floor, but to have that word said in a cheery voice suddenly was jarring. However, the 10 things one wants to do before dying... What they were, I didn't know. How much time Himeko-san had left, I also didn't know. Looking at it the other way, I could say there were 3 things remaining. Well, it's like that, Setsumi. If the Bible is correct, it seems like the world was created in 7 days. And so, even with the time I have left, don't you think most of them are possible? That doesn't make a good example. Well, don't say things like that. There's 3 things left, so if you don't mind, come along with me. Looks like we become friends, the 2 of us. Upon the first week of meeting, I've been asked to go along with the 3 remaining things to do before dying. Himeko-san's words, I didn't know how serious she was, but it seemed that I would probably be coming to this place often. As the sun slowly sank and the sky stained orange, I left the hospital. Today, I I may have been at the hospital too long. As I was thinking that, my eyes landed on the schoolyard. Again. There were children running around happily. Even the metal bar I did the somersault on before had plenty of patrons today. Summer vacation, dusk, the voices of Higurashi, sweaty playing children. Each and everything were the everyday parts that build up the scene of a common summer day. There was nothing out of place. No one who made a strained face like mine from a single somersault. One-san, what's wrong? As I continued to stand gazing, one child that was playing spoke to me. Did you want to play with the bar? Not particularly. It's nothing. With just that answer, I turned on my heel. Looking up, the sky already darkening, I hurried along the road home. I'm home. Welcome home. The preparations for dinner are about done. Looking at the clock, it was already about 7. Today, Mother had come home first. And together with Mother, we began our usual early dinner. Speaking of which, today you were quite late. I went to the hospital a bit. Oh, today was examination day? That's not it. But I worried about how to answer. How should I talk about Himeko-san? Being an acquaintance seems safe, but after thinking a bit, I decided to answer like Himeko-san said. I went to a friend's place. A friend. Mother repeated my words back to me. She also had a surprised, unbelieving sort of expression. However, Mother having that kind of reaction was probably unavoidable. For the word friend to come out of my mouth was itself rare. Well, at the very least, these past few years it probably had been impossible. I see. That's wonderful, Setsumi, making a friend. And this time, she happily continued speaking. To that happy mother, I spoke about the events that happened up until now. And she was a very kind One-san. And lately I've been going to play every day. That often I was taken to go eat ice cream. My, it sounds like a very kind One-san. It's not. Like I was lying. But I wasn't able to say that she was a resident of the 7th floor. Why I thought that, I didn't know the exact reason. Being on the 7th floor wasn't Himeko-san's fault. It was no one else's fault. I knew that. Because I was in a similar position. Because at some point the people I knew disappeared. I knew it even more so. It was probably the feeling of not wanting to worry her. I'm sure that Mother would imagine that it was another normal patient, or perhaps a nurse. But to deny that didn't seem like something I could do. I know, and starting tomorrow, why don't I make lunches for you? Huh? Even this distance, it must be a pain to come back, right? Mother continued being happy. Lately, my health had been good, and probably hearing I had made a friend made her extra happy. I wouldn't say it out loud, but I think it hasn't been since the 6th grade trip. She had always put effort into making lunch for me. Leave it to me, I'll make a feast. In front of such a happy mother, I could say nothing. As always, all I could do was quietly eat the fries.